various locations via the miracle of Skype. It's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And hello from the Valley of the Sun, where we're going to get exactly what the Chamber of Commerce guarantees we get out here. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day. Hello there, everyone. Todd Bailing in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, joined by my three partners back in the state of Wisconsin, where I am assured it's going to be a lovely day also, starting with Oostburg, Wisconsin's own Brian Schmidt. Hey, bud.
Good morning. Yes, it is going to be beautiful. And Oostburg is a name everybody's going to hear because I'm a proud father, so I got to say it. My wife's my daughter's basketball team transferred to state this week, so she'll be playing in the state tournament in Green Bay. So you'll see the name Oostburg plastered all over the state this week.
Well, if Lance has anything to do with it, he'll probably be up there. PJ Noodleman in Trempealeau, Wisconsin. Good morning, young lady.
Good morning. 42 here, Todd, so we're just a skosh warmer than, not quite warmer than you.
47 we are right now, but let's not tell anybody that. And, of course, Dan Margetta from St. Francis, USA.
Yeah, good morning. It is comparable here on this side of the state. A pretty decent day, although I wish I was in Phoenix. There's nothing like being in the Valley of the Sun for a race.
FS1 will have the race today. The green is at 2:41 Central Daylight Savings Time. The forecast is sunny with a high in the low 70s. By the end of the race, it should be about 76 degrees. So it seems like a perfect day to race. William Byron is on the pole. 133.680. Went around this 1 mile semi-bank, mostly flat track, 26.930 seconds. And but I don't even know if that's the big news. All of a sudden, Spire Motorsports is showing that all that money that they have dumped into that operation seems to be paying off. You got Carson Hocevar qualified third. You've got Michael McDowell, 7th, and Justin Haley, 8th. 3 of the top 8 cars are Spire Motorsport. Ladies and gentlemen, is today the day that Spire hits victory lane?
Not sure about a win, but, boy, they sure are starting to reap the fruits of their labor. You know, and we talked about this, I think maybe 2 years ago already, right after Hocevar announced that he was going to go there, that this is a team that is going to be on the rise, and they were adding all these good people from all these different teams, and boy, it's starting to show. So I don't know if they're ready to win yet, Dan, but I think it's getting close.
Well, they're there. They're where they need to be. You got to run consistently up front and you get the win. It takes so much to put a win together. So many things have to go right and mistake-free, like on pit road and pit crews and all that kind of stuff. They're there, though, but they're at the place where they're consistently running near the front, which is where you got to be to get that win. They lucked into a win a couple of years ago in the rain at Daytona, but to actually go out and win one, it's close. I don't know. They put one good race together in Atlanta. That's only one. I think you got to get a couple yet. So there's a chance, but I'm like you, Brian. I'm not sure they're going to pull the win off today.
Well, Michael McDowell might be the one of the 3 that you might have to watch out for. I realize Hocevar is making all the headlines lately, and he qualified a little better, but McDowell is right there. He qualified 7th, so, I
think McDowell can keep his cool better than Carson Hocevar at the time when it matters most. So
that's a really good point. And we really don't know that much about Justin Haley. I know he's been really highly regarded for a long time, but other than his rain win at Daytona, there's very little we really know about this guy, right? I mean, somebody's got to see something in him if he keeps getting these nice offers.
Well, he's a dirt racer, right, Brian? I mean, he's done pretty good there, but don't forget who's on the pit box of that 7 car this year, too. I mean, Rodney Childers could make a big difference there.
Right. Yeah, well, that's a good point all the way around. This was a huge week in NASCAR because it is very rare that they get any penalties reversed on appeal, but that is what happened. The Gibbs 19 car with Briscoe did an appeal, The elongated holes were caused by the process of attaching the spoiler. That's what they said. They reversed the $100,000 fine, 100 points, 10 playoff points, and a 4-week suspension for the crew chief. Dan, it was quite the dog and pony show, apparently, huh?
Well, I kind of read and heard some things around about that they brought like numerous pieces into that appeal to show them that this could happen. Like I heard a number thrown out there, like they brought like 20 of the spoiler attachments in and said, here, look at how it happens. And there was, now going into that, in the past, there were some bulletins that let teams do some things around that area to make that fit better. I think they could have sanded some places and stuff. So in the past, there was some work around that area because there was issues of attaching that to the plate. So there was a chance to win that, and they pulled it off. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, NASCAR usually doesn't lose these things.
Yeah.
But they did their job, and they got their 100 points back. That's the biggest thing.
That is the biggest thing. You know what, though? NASCAR likes to send messages, and I think the message was the same that went out, whether or not that this penalty was upheld. You don't mess with the spoilers or anything else. And I think everybody is pretty well aware that that's a really bad idea to do. But in the penalty department, Austin Cindric this is one, I'm a little confused here. Maybe you guys can help me here. Austin Cindric was penalized $50,000 and 50 points for intentionally turning Ty Dillon last week at COTA, but there was no suspension. Isn't that just a little unusual when you turn a guy on purpose, which is what they're saying he did, that there's usually some sort of a suspension involved?
That should be. In the past, other guys have gotten suspended for doing the exact same thing. Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace. You know, the thing different this year is if you get suspended, they said that you lose all your playoff points going in the playoffs. So suspensions really, really got some teeth this year if you do it. Now here's your first opportunity to do that, and they didn't go that far with the suspension. I don't know, it's because of the new rules, and that's just kind of got everybody, in arms a little bit. If you did it intentionally, it was always suspension before. I know the suspensions got more oomph to it this year than it did in the past, but you still got to withhold that and do that, and they didn't. They held that back a little bit. Yeah, he did it on purpose, but, it wasn't egregious enough to suspend him, which is kind of iffy.
Consistently inconsistent.
And that's right there is what creates problems for NASCAR. As long as you're consistent, it does not matter what the call is. Just do it the same for everyone. And, NASCAR has got its quirky ways about it, and maybe you're not. Dan, we got a lady driver today. Catherine Legg is going to make her NASCAR debut. She's not really a spring chicken anymore, I don't think, is she? But you know her a little bit?
Well, yeah, she's had some sports car starts in IndyCar. She run the Indy 500 a couple times. She's actually been pretty well, I thought. She hasn't, won anything, but it actually looks okay. I don't expect much today in this. The car she's driving is probably the slowest car in the field, so I don't expect that way. But we've had some dealings with her when she was in IndyCar and then the sports cars, and she's very competitive, and she's a racer. We raced slot cars with her years ago at the Milwaukee Mile at IndyCar week, and we had a slot car track out there, and some of the drivers came. A.J. Allmendinger was one of them. She was there, Catherine Legg, and then Justin Wilson was there, the guy that unfortunately got killed at Pocono a couple years ago. And then there was another driver, I can't remember who, he drove the Forsyth car. I think his name was Mario something. I can't remember his last name. The four of them were racing, and one of those guys, I think AJ might have jumped the start on one of the races, and she was having none of that. And she put her arm down on the racetrack, and no, these cars aren't going. We're redoing that restart. So she's a lot of fun and definitely has a racer mentality. I wish she was in a better car for this week, though.
Well, the people in Wisconsin may remember, Road America fans especially, she had that hellacious crash on the backstretch near Canada Corner. Wait, that's 2006 already, back when the old Champ Car series was around. She had that wicked crash on the backstretch. If you go on YouTube, you can see it. It's amazing that she made it out that. But so she's been around a long time.
By now, you may have read somewhere that the Slinger Speedway was sold and it is under new ownership. And I'll be darned, we're going to have the new owner of the Slinger Speedway join us after the break. Travis Dassel is waiting by the phone. We're going to call him right now.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
I've been practicing nonstop. And Kentucky tournament it out. Spreadsheets. Tournament. Biggest upset to date. Spreadsheets. Tournament. I see my boss. Spreadsheets.
This guy's worthless.
I love March. 3-day work weeks. Every week.
Tell your boss you ain't coming into work.
Your home for the best tournament coverage is Milwaukee's 97.3 The Game.
Welcome back to LTN. For the first time, I think it's the first time Travis has ever been on the program, actually, but it certainly is the first time since he became the new owner and promoter, along with his wife, Kelsey, at the Slinger Speedway. We have Travis Dasso on the program for us. Travis, first of all, nice to have you. I don't know, is this the first time? I think it is.
It may be a long time ago, but it's been a while. I know for sure that I've been able to come on with you guys. So I'm looking forward to it.
You know, I was looking at the list today. You are only the fourth owner in what is now an 80-year run of the Slinger Speedway. Rolly Hader, Wayne Erickson, Todd Thielen, and now Travis and Kelsey Dasso. That sounds pretty damn good, doesn't it, Trav?
Yeah, it does. It's crazy how long this place has been around and the history here and everything like that. And I've been coming here now 33 or 34 years, sitting in the stands. Actually, I'm sitting in the same grandstand that I sat in 34 years ago the first time I was here in Section C right now as we speak. So
really?
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, that means that I was probably announcing when you went there for the first time, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're about the only one back then. I don't think there was anybody else at that point. I think you had to be already there.
Oh, that's crazy. So now, good news and interesting news. You're the new owner and promoter, but now you've got a racetrack to run. We've already seen a little bit about your vision for the track, but there's so much on your plate so quickly right now. I take it that the schedule that has been put out there is what we're going to stick with all season long, correct?
Yeah, the schedule was set, I think came out in January or so, and that's going to all stay the same right now this year. It's probably a good way that way. Then that way I can kind of see what worked, what didn't work, what nights went over well, what nights didn't, and then I'm sure we'll make some different changes going into 26. But as of right now, everything is status quo.
Yeah, that's really good to hear that things are set to go for another season. Because I think first thing everybody thought about was, what's going to happen race-wise, and things are going as planned. And I really think you're a good guy to take this track over, Travis, because you have some racing experience. You're a racer. I think it's really important to have the racer own the racetrack because you understand the pit side of things, and you kind of understand the grandstand side of things. Sometimes those two sides are different how they think things should be done. You kind of got to find a common ground in between. And I think that was Todd Thielen's and Elizabeth Thielen's strong point, was they understood both sides and they were respected in the pits. I think you're the same way. So I think that's a really good thing going forward. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, and it hasn't just been me coming to Slinger Speedway too. You know, I've been racing across the country for I think this will be my 23rd year in super late racing. Going to all these different racetracks across the country, I've seen a lot of different things and how racetracks do it, and the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think, it's definitely going to be a learning curve. You know, I was telling, and Todd talked about it too, and Todd Thielen, and you know, I could probably walk in the back gate and run the show the first night and not have that, you know, kind of know what's going on. But you know, the concession side of it, ticketing, things like that are the things that I don't know a lot about, but we have a lot of great people here at the racetrack that's hopefully going to come back and you know, help along with that learning curve. And actually, my wife is going to be, Kelsey's going to kind of head up that sort of side of things more than I will, just to try to, you know, split up jobs per se. And she's going to be kind of more on the grandstand side of things, and I'm going to be more kind of making sure everybody's happy on the other side.
Boy, oh boy, that blows me away that you've been racing that long. I remember when you came in, sponsored by Bob Fish, and boy, he was real excited about this kid. And I think it was number 92, if I remember right. You started at Slinger in 2002, and by 2007, you were the ASA Challenge Series national champion. So you've had a pretty decent resume driving those things.
Yeah, we definitely, it's just crazy to think that it has been that long. It doesn't feel that long, but I guess it is that long when I start forgetting about things that happened in different races and things like that. I guess that's between old age and just doing it that long. But, yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think back. 2002, I was 15 years old, and, Wayne wouldn't, I don't know if it was insurance or what it was, or if Wayne was just not going to let a 15-year-old kid come in here and race at Slinger Speedway. So I actually started at the Dells that 2002 season and ran most of the season before Wayne would let us come to Slinger and run the first night. But and actually the first night we were I think I missed the show by like 5 cars. But back then you had 38, 45 cars every night in a super late. And we were leading the semi feature. I think it was halfway through the show, I want to say, through the race, and came to a restart. And the funny story is that Todd Thielen was running second behind me. And that's back when he raced also. And he got into me a little bit and got by me. And I basically finished fourth and fifth in the semi. And I think he went on to win it. So it was pretty, that's kind of a funny story. And Todd, you know, he says he doesn't remember it, but I'm sure he probably does.
Yeah. Nobody would remember that, right? That's funny. Brian?
Speaking of the ASA, Travis, one of the most exciting things I see on the schedule is the fact that the ASA Stars National Tour is going to make an appearance at Slinger. How excited are you to be taking over the reins and having that massive event with that stellar field of cars coming to your track the very first year you own it? And what are your thoughts on that series and going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to bring in, you know, an awesome traveling series like that to come in and put on display, you know, the best racers in the country right now. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a big event come Father's Day, moving it from Milwaukee to Slinger Speedway. We're really excited. I mean, I know a lot of them guys. I know Bob, I know Marty, I know them guys that are running the thing, and then they're working really hard to make it a great series for everybody to race in, and you know, we're just happy to be part of it.
And I think that's one of the main events you're going to have this year is obviously the Stars race. Your Slinger Nationals got some news this week too. Some tech help, right?
Yeah. We figured as long as we were announcing stuff and people were getting kind of excited and watching the page and stuff, we figured we'd make kind of our big first announcement. We have Ricky Brooks coming in, him and the whole UARA crew, not the whole crew, but a few guys coming up to try to help. At the Nationals, he's going to take care of overseeing tech and along with the competition side. You know, we felt we needed to make sure that we had that national presence for a national race. You know, we had the national tour coming in earlier in June, but we've had this nationally recognized race for, you know, this will be the 46th year for the Nationals, and we want to make sure we keep that on the top marquee event as well, and make sure everybody's treated fairly. And we thought that was a perfect opportunity to bring Ricky in. And I've known Ricky for 15 years or so, and he was actually one of the first people that somehow found out about it and called me. This was already back 3 months ago. And I don't know how he found out, but he figured it out, and he was the first one with open arms to make sure that he wanted to be part of everything. And Ricky's going to help along with not just the Nationals. He's going to kind of, he's going to be there for me and the crew, everybody here at the racetrack to bounce ideas off of and, learn and try to make the competition side a lot better and make sure, everything is run smoothly week to week.
We are chatting with new Slinger Speedway owner and promoter Travis Dasso. We will continue our conversation after this break.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
We can help you win your bracket contest. Here's a useful tip. Offer to turn in your coworkers' brackets. Kevin, I got yours. I'm heading down there anyway.
Oh, thanks, Bob.
Then, destroy them. If possible, wait till Thursday morning to do it. They won't have time to recover.
You bastard.
Just a public service message from your home of the best tournament coverage.
Milwaukee's home for brackets and stuff. 97.3 The Gay.
We're talking with Travis Dasso, who becomes, I believe, the youngest promoter in the history of Slinger Speedway at age 37. It blows me away that you've been racing as long as you have at your ripe old age of 37. You've done it all. You've raced. You've won championships. You became a car owner. You've been the car owner for several high-profile guys, not the least of which Casey Johnson. And you just had to take that last step and now run the whole shebang. It's got to be pretty exciting, huh?
Yeah, it is. Then when me and Kelsey sat down and thought about, doing something like this, we thought, the first thing we thought of is, wow, how cool would this be for our kids? And, that's kind of the big thing we want to really stress here is we want to make this family oriented as much as we can, welcome back all the old fans and everything like that, and actually try to get some new families involved and things like that. So that's going to help along the way, hopefully, as well. But yeah, I mean, Easton, my 8-year-old, who's been racing go-karts already for 3 seasons and stuff, and when we told him, he was just blown away. I don't think he knew what to think. And then yesterday we came out to the track here, and first thing he did was jump on the gator, and he wanted to go take a ride around the racetrack and see what it was all about. So
it's almost like your parents buying Disneyland.
Exactly. I think he's going to be here more than I am, probably. He's probably going to walk from school here, probably, I would assume. We're going to try to figure out where Easton is some days, and he's probably going to be down here at the racetrack, and we're going to wonder where the heck he is.
That's cool. So. Travis, every job is great. You wouldn't get into it if you weren't passionate about it, but sometimes it's the people. If it weren't for the people, every job would be perfect, right? So you're going to have some people who are going to be, let's face it, a-holes. So what is your mindset? How are you going to handle, because there will be negative Nancys out there that are going to want to throw slime balls your way. So what are you and Kelsey doing to prepare yourself to have that firewall up, if you will, so that way that doesn't get to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be, I don't know. I mean, like you said, there's going to be the good, the bad, the ugly with employees, fans, different people, competitors, things like that come across our way. And, I've owned a business for 17 years already with TD Graphics, and, I deal with customers every day, things like that. So I've had a lot come my way already. I know I'm going to get a lot more. But between the two of us and employees and everything else, we're going to, I mean, like I said, we're taking over in March, so we have a month and a half to get rolling here, which is, a lot shorter time than most promoters have for all winter long to get ready for a season. So it's going to be a learning curve this year, but I mean, we're willing to work as hard and as many hours as it takes to make sure that we make this place successful and get the right people involved and just make sure it's, everybody's on the same page and, try to make this place, follow on what Todd and Elizabeth have been doing lately. And back when, Big Wayne was running it all, I mean, he did a great job for how many years, and Todd and Elizabeth did a great job, and now it's our turn. And, we gotta keep the tradition alive along with bringing new ideas and new things. And, if along the way, it's going to, different things are going to come up, and we're just going to have to roll with it, and make the right decisions.
When you talk about new ideas, looking into your crystal ball of types of events you'd like to have at Slinger Speedway in the future. I mean, it was really cool when the SRX series came along a couple years ago, and we were able to get that there. Is there anything else in your mind that you have floating around your head, like, I really want to get that at Slinger Speedway at some point?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different things, of course we're not going to be able to bring in, NASCAR stuff or anything like that. I mean, we're not big enough to do anything like that. But, there's other series. There's some conversations that I already had with a couple people to bring in some different things that isn't per se super late stuff. Different series that run at short tracks and things like that are very interested and that are from out of state and not nationwide per se. So
can you leak them? Come on, can you leak them to us?
No, so I can't right now. But
right.
With the 20-some years I have, I've got in the racing world right now. I have a lot of good connections, a lot of good people that have already called me and supporting me and things like that. So we just got to sift through them and see what makes sense for Slinger Speedway. Things that can, be exciting for the fans, but also, I mean, we got to look at the bottom line now and make sure we make money at it. So to make sure that this place stays open. So, there's different things with the divisions we have here weekly that we need to improve on to make sure that everybody's happy as well. We're going to look at things to, try to save. I know that every promoter says it, but to try to save money for the racer. But we're going to try our best to make sure we keep it the most inexpensive we can. I mean, racing's gotten expensive. I know how much super lates cost these days and things like that. We definitely don't want to see the super lates go away because it is our main attraction. It is our thing that we're known for, and we want to make sure they're around for years to come. So there's some changes we got to make along the way. Great. And then hopefully it helps. That comes with, we're looking at purse structures. We're looking at everything for all the divisions right now to make sure that we make sure everybody's happy and make sure that people keep coming back and want to come back.
So the schedule's going to stay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you were talking before we even went on the air that you're already diving into doing some things there at the track.
Yeah, we hit the ground running. We turned the old VIP suite, so Dan's going to be sitting next to I haven't tore that apart because there's so many wires in that place I don't know what goes where, so I'm leaving that up to Dan. But the VIP suite next to him, the old one, the VIP one, we're actually remodeling that. We want to make sure that the fans are, make sure that the amenities are better and things like that. So we're starting right now. We're remodeling that. There's a couple other things around the track that we're going to clean up. I got to invest in a pile of paint and, different things. We're looking at trying to make walkways, more accessible, more fan friendly, things like that short term to try to make sure that the fans are comfortable and want to be here, and not have to worry about falling or doing anything like that. And then the VIP thing just for the experience for the sponsors and stuff to make that better. So yeah, there's definitely things we're working on, and we got some great friends that are willing to help out, and we're going to be here pretty much every day now till the opener.
Well, we're all getting pretty excited that that's right around the corner, but it's going to be fun to see as we turn the page at Slinger Speedway and see what the Dasso era is going to bring us. Travis, I assume we're going to have you on this program on a regular basis over the course of the year so we can find out how things are going, and the best of luck from all of us. This is going to be fun.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I appreciate all the support from everybody, and we can't wait to get going. It's going to be a great 2025.
The new promoter at Slinger Speedway, Travis Dasso. We are going to take a break and come back. We're glad you're with us. Stand by.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Don't be the person that goes all chalk.
I'm hoping for chalk here.
Lame? Sure. You might win your bracket contest. Why do you play like a coward?
I'm not impressed.
You're not impressed?
I am not impressed.
But you know what you lose by doing that?
My respect for one.
Ooh, snap! I realize that sounds a bit preachy.
A little bit.
Especially coming from the clear-cut number one choice for March Madness coverage.
Number one.
97.3 The Game.
Welcome back. You know, Dan went to Daytona this year. He did it in a little different kind of a way. He wasn't so much in the infield as he was picking the brain of some people that he, let's face it, drank with all week. And then you'd be surprised some of the things you find out. And I'm looking back in my notes, Dan, it was 2 weeks ago on the 23rd at Atlanta when we said on this program that the date in Mexico City, they're coming up with a plan B in case it doesn't happen. And that rumor, here it hits 2 weeks later. This week it's out, and suddenly all these people are all up in arms. Oh my God, maybe they're going to race the road course at Daytona instead of that same weekend. By the way, that's Father's Day, I think, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it is. And actually, we teased it on the day of the Daytona 500 that was kind of being discussed in the background. It came out, the rumor came out and it kind of went crazy. And right now the date is not canceled. It's not NASCAR says it's going full speed ahead for it. But there are logistics situations that you got to look at to get down there. And now they probably have a contingency plan in case they can't do it. And that's probably what this is. They probably got blown way out of proportion in the last 2 weeks, which is what's going to happen when it goes on the internet that way. But it's not something that people just totally made up. There was some, there's some discussions going on in the background in case this didn't happen. This is what we would do. And that's pretty much all it is. Now, do every race in the schedule have a contingency plan? I'm not sure.
That's the whole thing, Dan, because, we're good with our Mexico. Don't even question it. They do that about the whole schedule. Nobody ever questions anything on the schedule. The point that Dan just made is every other date on the calendar does not have a plan B like this one does. It's only rumored, right?
The biggest thing I saw is when you watched that come out earlier this week and you go down the rabbit hole and start looking at the people commenting on it, you see that the folks that are going to fly to Mexico City are like, yeah, not a problem. This should be no problem. It's not going to be a big deal at all. The folks that have to drive and get all the equipment there are the ones that are saying, hey, there's a lot of red flags. There's a lot of stuff we got to get figured out. There's a lot of different things that are going to happen in order for this to happen. So you can kind of see where the conflict is kind of coming in here. The folks that, are just going to show up there and race don't seem to have an issue. It's the teams that are bringing up the issues about there's a lot of things that have to be worked out and a lot of security type things that have to happen for us to get all our stuff down there.
It's a lot of parallels to the politics in the country right now, too.
Exactly.
The elites who don't have to touch anything, don't worry, but those who have to do the grunt work are the ones that are going to get hurt.
Exactly. And as I mentioned the other week, unlike IndyCar and Formula One, who fly their stuff to these overseas races, NASCAR can't do that because there's just so much more stuff. So they got to literally get it all down there, and that's going to be the biggest thing here. So I don't think this is over yet, and there's a lot of I's that have to be dotted and a ton of T's that have to be crossed in order to make this work.
Well, remember we all said the same thing about this street race in Chicago. I mean, kind of similar there. Not as this is like an international scale, so it's a little bit bigger that way. But remember, there were doubts if that was even going to happen all the time too, and they pulled that off. So.
Well, and you'd like to think that Mexico would not have issues, but as somebody who lived on the border of Mexico for many years, there's a lot of issues. The day that I left El Paso, Texas, to move back up to the Midwest, and mind you, this was in the 90s, the headline of the El Paso Times was they finally broke up the car theft ring, and the head of it was the kingpin was the Juarez police chief. So there's a lot of corruption in every country, but it's a little more Wild West in Mexico.
What do we do if all the truck drivers stand together and say, listen, I'm not doing this. Can we hire some Mexican drivers to get everything down there safely?
That's probably the type of stuff that you see going on behind the scenes right now. And that's probably why it's good they're getting it out in the open early enough so that you can work through this stuff and see if you can figure out a way to make it work.
It's probably not that they have to hire Mexican drivers. They just need to pay off the right cartels to make sure everything gets safely there.
That's crazy.
I mean, you're looking at almost probably close to 90 to 100 semis that have to go down there. If you include all the teams for both the Xfinity and the Cup Series, and then remember, there's a whole fleet of semis that haul all the pit carts down there. Then you have all the support stuff that has to get down there. Then you have all the towing stuff that has to get down there. That's a lot of stuff that they take down there.
And if those drivers all stand together, that kind of reminds me, this maybe can be all tied in with what's going on in the legal business right now. Dan, do you have an update for us?
Well, NASCAR filed their own lawsuit this week against 2311 and Front Row, and they specifically named Curtis Polk, which is one of the owners of 2311, alleging that they're anti-competitive and kind of the antitrust law violation. Pretty much the same thing they were getting sued for. They're accusing the other side of doing the same thing. And their stance is that when 2 years we negotiated this charter agreement, and the teams, they had a team negotiating committee. They had people to negotiate for all the teams. It was Dave Alpern, I think, from Joe Gibbs, Jeff Gordon, and then Curtis Polk from 2311. And they're contending that Curtis Polk wasn't representing all the teams, that he was being kind of a hardliner in these discussions, and they conspired to throw off the deal. They accused them of threatening to boycott a qualifier at Daytona, which didn't happen. Meddling in the media rights agreement coming up. I mean, the lawsuit called that group an illegal cartel, and they used those words, so pretty strong that way. And their lawsuit says that because of that, that was being anti-competitive and antitrust violations and all that kind of stuff on that side. I really think this whole lawsuit was filed as a groundwork to get rid of the charter system should they lose. Because if you see that in there, they're saying, well, if on what they're alleging on the other side of this whole charter agreement that was going on for the last 2 years is illegal, well, then we can't have it at all. I really think this is kind of setting the groundwork that says if we don't win in this thing, charters are going to go away and we'll find something else. So it's going to make everybody mad.
Oh, and then all those guys that just spent $30 million to buy charters are going to be mad at Curtis Polk and 2311 and Front Row and the discord. It's such a beautiful thing. We're happy you're tuned in. We come back with some results in a couple of minutes. Hang in there.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
March. It comes in like a lion. And it ends with the return of the Brewers. Technically, that's not the expression, but that's what's happening. Then, somewhere in the middle, the least productive time in the history of the American workforce.
Are you talking about March Madness?
He hit a 40-footer to win it.
Yes, exactly.
Home stretch for the NBA regular season, too.
Don't miss a moment on 97.3 The Game.
The home of the Packers. At your fingertips on the free iHeartRadio app.
Make us a preset.
LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
A rather quiet week of dirt racing this week here, but a couple of the national tours are out and about. We'll start last Sunday in Barberville, Florida, Volusia Speedway Park, the Bike Week Jamboree for the World of Outlaw and NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. David Gravel grabbed the Sunday night feature win. They did it all again on Monday night number 2 of the Bike Week Jamboree at Volusia, and once again, David Gravel dominated and won. So a clean sweep for him. He's off to a heck of a good start in the 2025 World of Outlaw Series. We move to Friday night in Petty, Texas, the Rocket Raceway for the U.S. MTS Modified Series. Kyle Strickler, who was running late models for quite a while and very prominent on the IMCA side of modified things, has moved over and running the U.S. MTS Tour full-time this year and got his first feature win of the year. Greenwood, Louisiana on Friday night, the Boot Hill Speedway for the Comp Cams Super Dirt Car Series Super Late Models. Cade Dillard was your winner. And Friday night at Talladega, Alabama, the Talladega Short Track for the World of Outlaw and NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Bill Baylog, our own friend of the program, Bill Baylog picked up his first World of Outlaw feature win since 2016, I believe, at Beaver Dam. Right, Dan? Was that 2016 he last won at Beaver Dam?
Well, 9 years ago he had that one win at Beaver Dam, and it's so cool to see Bill finally get a victory. I think everybody was happy for that because he's been so close, and he did the grind. He ran the whole tour, and he's been there every week, and he's run near the front and finally put it all together.
Yeah, great to see him get that win. And, I mean, talk about a hard-working crew. That's not a mega team like you see most of the big funded teams on the World of Outlaw Tour. To see him knock out that win this early in the season was huge for him. Last night,
North Pole Nightmare.
The North Pole Nightmare, yes.
I saw some David Gravel fans online that were saying, I'm a huge David Gravel fan. He finished second, but I was really rooting for Bill in that race.
Yes. Yeah, that's all around feel good victory, and that'll some good momentum in him on what is a grueling season for the World of Outlaws. They run all the way until basically the end of the Cup season is when they run, late November. So nice to get that early on. Last night in Stockton, California, the NARC King of the West 410 Sprint Cars, DJ Netto was your winner. In Sweetwater, Tennessee, the I-75 Speedway for the Hunt to Front Super Dirt Late Model Series, $20,000 to win. Ricky Weiss grabbed a win. There's a guy won last week. Now he won a big money race this week. That's a guy we might see prominent in a lot of super late model races this year, Ricky Weiss, and we haven't heard from him lately. And finally, Magnolia, Mississippi, the World of Outlaw sprint cars were there, and David Gravel got right back on track and won the feature event again, his third win in a week. So he's off to a heck of a start. Baylog started up near the front and hung around there and finished 6th. That is everything for this week.
All right, on to the asphalt side of things. The ARCA Series ran at Phoenix. 16-year-old Brent Cruz won over Brendan Butterbean Queen after a chaotic wind down in that race. That was ugly.
It really was. What the hell? Again, Butterbean had taken the white flag. And as the leader, nobody was going to catch him. And the way they do business, well, we'll have a caution and we'll try it again. And then this 16-year-old kid in a Gibbs car goes ahead and beats old Butterbean. That was unfortunate.
Yeah. We also had the Smart Modified Tour running at Anderson Motor Speedway down in South Carolina. Luke Baldwin was the winner, and of course he'll be running a Thor Sport truck, the 66. However, Luke Fenhouse will be running in that Thor Sport 66 at Vegas on March 14th. So Fenhouse in for that. Not sure exactly how that split duty will work, but we shall see.
By the way, Luke was scheduled to be on with us today, but I got a text from him. He had to get on a plane. He was in Ohio with the truck, but I believe he's on his way back to Wisconsin now. So we just missed him, and we'll have him on in the very near future, I hope.
Yeah.
The Xfinity Series ran yesterday, too. By the way, it's a totally separate subject, but a lot of complaining about the CW. Why? I was in the stands, so I didn't really see the coverage. What was the problem with the CW? My friend Joe Miller was texting me during the race telling me how lousy it was. What happened? What was so bad?
I think their coverage is pretty decent on the air. I think the big thing people complain about is you can't watch it online. You can't stream it, the race itself. So if you're not at home or if your CW affiliate doesn't carry the race, there's no other way to watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I think their actual coverage, that the people that do the race, Adam Alexander along with Jamie McMurray and Parker Kligerman, they're outstanding. Their pit reporting, I think, is really good. The graphics on their screens are really good, but I think it's the streaming thing, like Dan said, that you're not getting your product out to everybody, and I still can't for the life of me understand why NASCAR hasn't said, hey, what's going on here, especially in this world where everybody streams.
I get that, and I do believe that if they're going to stream on a whole nother thing like that there's more money that they have to ante up to NASCAR to be able to offer it on yet another avenue.
Is it for the race? Because you can watch practice and qualifying. If your CW affiliate doesn't carry qualifying or practice, you can watch it on the CW app, and it's free and it works really great. It's just the actual race itself isn't on there.
And that's where I'm saying I think there's money that needs to be exchanged hands for that. I will tell you, though, if you have Dish, I have Dish, and I can pull up Dish anywhere, and I do pay for my local channels, so I have CW. I can actually stream it on my Dish Anywhere app. So there's an option for people who might have Dish. I don't know about DirecTV.
No, it does not work for DirecTV because I got the DirecTV app and I'm unable to do that. So I downloaded the CW app and
Kevin Knobloch, he's a guy from around here, big race fan. He said it's been on Hulu where he's been watching, so he's been able to pull it up on Hulu.
Okay. Well, by the way, they did have an Xfinity race on CW yesterday, and, it seems like it's a theme this weekend. First, it's Butterbean on Friday. Justin Allgaier is going to win this thing, and there's a caution, oh, my God, with a couple laps to go, and we're going to just take forever on those cautions. It was terrible. But in the meantime, it turns out it goes between Alex Bowman and Eric Almirola, and in a typical dirty finish. They say, the racing was so good. Can't you beat somebody without putting them in the damn wall? That just bothers the hell out of me. But Eric Almirola put the baby-faced assassin, Alex Bowman, into the wall and won the race yesterday and got out and,
I think when you drag race the checkered flag, you're going to door crowd him a little bit. And, did he get in the fence a bit? Yeah, but he didn't slam him in the wall. I didn't have a problem with what Almirola did coming to the line. I mean, he had that run on the outside, and you have to protect that. I think anybody would have done that and the situation was reversed.
Rubbin is racing, right, Dan?
Yeah, I guess so. The real question was, why did Bowman go to the outside? I think in hindsight, he might have done it a little differently. We'll be back right after these messages.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
I've been practicing nonstop. And Kentucky tournament it out. Spreadsheets. Tournament.
Biggest upset to date.
Spreadsheets. Tournament. I see my boss. Spreadsheets.
This guy's worthless.
I love March. 3-day work weeks. Every week.
Tell your boss you ain't coming into work.
Your home for the best tournament coverage is Milwaukee's 97.3 The Game.
Welcome back. Final segment of LTN. Couple little things. They're going to race at Las Vegas next week. Dan, you're not going now, are you?
No, I had tickets and I actually sold them. I'm going to go in October, though.
Oh, all right. Well, the president of the Vegas track, guy by the name of Chris Powell, he's been there several years, and oddly, he announces the week before the race that this will be his last race, and he's going to retire. They are going to replace him with the guy's name is Patrick Lindsay. He is the president of the Las Vegas PGA event that's been successful out there for years. So he's got used to dealing with the Las Vegas politicians and all that sort of thing. Probably a good guy to put in that spot. I don't know if he knows anything about racing. I guess we'll find out, huh? And speaking of Vegas, it's going to have to be the greatest gentleman start your engines in the history of racing next week. The Grand Marshal for the Vegas race is going to be Morgan Freeman with the greatest voice there has ever been. I can't
I love
wait.
that guy.
Oh, my God. For him to say, gentlemen, start your engines, the hair is going to stand up on the back of your neck. It's going to be beautiful. He's amazing. So
just having him do start your engines and not driver intros. Remember years ago when he had that guy do driver intros and he messed some of them up?
Casey Kahan.
That was Robin Leach, wasn't it? That did
Yes,
all
it was.
and he kept saying that every year it was Johnny Sauter from Nekada, Wisconsin.
There you go. You could at least check this stuff out before you actually open your mouth. But no, the big shots don't have to do that, I guess. The one thing that I think is pretty neat, we know that Dodge doesn't have a car that can run in NASCAR. They don't have any cars that have engines in them now. They have batteries in them, and they sound like they have an engine in them. But what a perfect place for Dodge to return. It looks as though more and more people are saying that Dodge is on its way back in the truck series. They don't have to put any money into engine development. They all use that Ilmor crate engine in those things. All I got to do is come up with some body work that they'll probably be produced in Wisconsin, and they'll put some stickers that says Dodge on it, and the return to NASCAR, what I think the really good thing about it is it just opens the door. Let's just see what happens down the line. It'll be good, you know. It'll be a good thing for NASCAR all the way around. All right, we haven't picked a lot of winners amongst us lately. You know, we didn't even talk really about the race last week at COTA and Christopher Bell at the end. But you know, who didn't feel bad for Rowdy? Just a little bit. He's watching the mirror. Here he comes. Oh, maybe I can hold him off. Maybe no, you couldn't hold him off. And Rowdy is, you'd think, as frustrated as he could possibly be right now. And yet he was pretty cool, got out of the car, said all the right things, didn't use any expletives, didn't threaten anybody. He just says, I'm just going to have to be better. And, it was cool. I mean, you almost to the point where you're rooting for him. They're actually cheering for him now on those rare occasions when he wins, you know.
For sure. Yeah. I like to see that.
And the year before, Bell roughed him up pretty bad, and there's a lot of video floating around from the 2024 race when he went over there and gave Bell a piece of his mind. Bell raced him extremely clean, which was nice to see, and there's plenty of laps left, and you could tell that Christopher's car was so much better than Busch's that it's just a matter of time, and that's how it played out, which was nice to see that because you don't see that real often on the road courses in the NASCAR world.
Right.
Well, I am now turned into a Christopher Bell believer. I'm picking him today. I might just pick him every rest of the year because he doesn't have any stress. They can gamble. They can go do what they want. He's good at this track, PJ. Don't you dismiss my guy.
No, I know. I'm not dismissing him. I'm laughing at you. You're very predictable.
Yes, because I was never a believer before.
You're predictable, Todd.
I am predictably unpredictable. Now, come on. So anyway, I'll take Christopher Bell. Who the rest of you got? Let's go to Dan. Let's see who he's got.
All right. Well, it's not the fall race. Then I'll pick a Penske car if it was. But I'll pick a Penske car this week in the spring. Joey Logano.
All right. Brian?
I think it's going to be a William Byron day. These Hendrick cars in the spring are really good. Fall is, like Dan said, all Penske all the time. But in the spring, it's been the Hendrick cars. So Willie B.
All right, now with the Carson Hocevar pick, here's
no. Can't do it. I can't do it. Even if I had a crystal ball that said he's going to win it, I still couldn't pick him.
Yeah.
I can't. I would vomit. So instead, I'm going with who I do have a very good taste in my mouth, Ryan Blaney.
Whoa.
He certainly is doing that Penske thing. Looks like you and Dan agree on the Penske thing here. So
Chris Buescher.
Yeah, that's who Toby would pick every time.
Oh, okay.
And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out with the two different tires. So that's gonna.
Yeah, that's
who has tires left at what time. I mean, this is almost like what you see in IndyCar and Formula One, where they run the two different compounds, and we're having that here today for the first time at this track. So. See how this plays out and see how interesting this makes it and how the guys use these tires.
Kind of a test run for the championship weekend, actually.
They haven't committed to using that tire for the championship weekend, though. That's the only thing.
Well, you know why? Because we're going to see how it works today, I think.
Yeah, I think today will be that deciding.
And I'm hoping it's a spectacular show that makes them want to do that so that you can get this, this lull that everybody has about the championship race being there out of its system.
And there is a test coming tomorrow. All three manufacturers are going to have a car here for the test tomorrow. Here at Phoenix. I should go over there. The hell, I got nothing else to do. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And thanks to Travis Dasso for taking a part of his Sunday. He was actually in the stands. Can you believe that? How cool is that? I guess it wouldn't happen if it wasn't so beautiful there. Hey, here's something to remember. Real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losi. We're thinking about the Losi family this week as he lost his stepdad, Peter Castronovo. And for all of us involved, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.